Yes, guys, I want to run you through Dom's mad transformation this year. So, Dom has managed to lose 5 stone since March this year. Now, Dom's real desire when he came to us was to massively improve his sex life, his relationships, how he's feeling, confidence within himself, and ultimately what was holding him back was past beliefs. He had tried this beforehand, but it really just hadn't worked for him. You know, he had plenty of old vehicles, whether that be he'd tried the gym in the past, or whether that be he'd tried these strict diets in the past, and nothing ever really seemed to work for Dom. So, what I'm going to run you through today is how we've managed to change that, how we've changed his beliefs, how he's coming towards our coaching, and ultimately, when we first engaged with Dom, it was very much so a new opportunity for him. Now, I want to stress that if you have failed with weight loss in the past and you want to have this transformation, you need a new opportunity because what you've been doing in the past clearly hasn't been working. So, realistically, we presented that for him. You know, Dom came and reached out to us off the back of seeing a transformation. So, if you're watching this today and you're seeing a transformation, that within itself can be a big aha moment for you understanding, right? Okay, cool, this is, possible for myself because I know when Dom was in this place beforehand, he didn't believe it was possible, right? So I just want to first things first, let you guys understand that it's very normal to feel like that. When I first lost weight in the past, I was in the exact same position of not believing in myself, right? So here's how our frameworks work. I want to give you exactly how our coaching works so you can come away from this and you can set yourself up upon it and achieve an insane transformation like Dom. So, phase number one, the foundation phase, really important, and we can run through this in detail today, but really important you just set your journey up over the course of, we do 30 days, so you could do less, you could do more. 30 days has been the sweet spot for us. Phase two, really, this is your performance phase. This is where we lay out your big targets. And phase three would be more so your autonomy phase. Then you would teach yourself how to maintain this result long term. So in phase one, really what we're looking to do is set the frameworks up for your journey. We want to make sure you're enjoying it. Basically, I say to a lot of the guys on my team, we want to make sure when you're training, you don't want to pour vinegar in your eyes or you don't want to put a nail under your toe and boot the wall. You want to make sure you're really looking forward to your plan. Because if you can't look forward to it in phase one before you drop the hammer in phase two, it's not going to be a sustainable journey for you. Now, what we do as well, we want to build your confidence. So, for example, with Dom, we initially built his confidence in the gym. He was relatively comfortable in a gym, but he didn't have confidence in the gym. He didn't back himself. He didn't believe in himself in the gym, right? So what we needed to do was build him up, build his confidence up, get his attendance up, just get him in there more often. Rather than trying to give him the perfect program, it was like, okay, cool, here's a simple program. Let's get you in that gym door as often as possible. So less so on goals and targets and setting these big woo-wah targets throughout phase one, and more so build your confidence up, get you really looking forwards to it. Upskilled him on nutrition. The way we did that was hybrid nutrition. So hybrid nutrition, the way it works is you, for example, have, let's just say you were eating 2,500 calories, 4 meals of 600 calories and snacks of 100, right? So you've got 4 meals of 600 calories, you've got meal A, meal B, both of them are 600 calories, you could pick meal A or meal B for that day. So that's how hybrid meals work. That's exactly what we did for Dom, and it was very easy for him because it took decision fatigue away and just allowed him to enjoy it. If you guys would like a document running you through how you can set this up, let me know over on Instagram. It is coachmatt.wilson, and I can send that out to you. Right, so what we do then is we take him into phase two. So after 30 days, after Dom was comfy, all we did was do a willingness audit. So we understood the areas where he wanted to push forwards. Does he want to push forwards in activity? Does he want to drop the hammer with, calories? Does he want to increase his steps? Where do you particularly want to push forwards in your journey? Now, for Dom, we prioritise activity. He's quite a busy worker anyway, so getting steps up was no problem. Cardio, something he wanted to focus on. He had knee injuries in the past, so got to monitor that. And that's why throughout phase one, you don't burn yourself out, because if you burn yourself out here, then you're not in a place to manage recovery and hunger, because you're already hungry, you're already under recovered. Your goal throughout the back end of this is that you're nice and recovered coming into this phase, and then as we start ramping everything up, at that point then we can start managing your recovery, start managing your hunger. And we did all this without going under 2,000 calories within the opening 6 months. So you can see throughout here, it just means essentially that he doesn't burn out. And this then set up the frameworks for how he dropped. Throughout the journey so far, he's dropped 5 stone. Essentially, phase two was predominantly most of that 5 stone that he dropped. So you can see it's not this big facade woo-wah transformation. At the end of the day, it is just one-to-one coaching, making sure we're in his corner, making sure we're focused on his recovery and hunger, and making sure he's enjoying his program at all times. That is predominantly what we're doing here. Phase three, that is your maintenance phase. Very, very important, because essentially once you go through these frameworks, to maintain this level of result, you need to be able to go through maintenances. For a lot of people, and if you're struggling to diet yourself, you've probably been able to gain weight, you've probably been able to lose weight in the past, but you've probably never maintained your weight the exact same, right? So going to be very important that you teach yourself maintenance. Then it's also important you teach yourself muscle building. because you're not going to diet for the rest of your life, and you're going to need to have extra muscle on your body. It's only going to make you healthier. It's only going to make you stronger. It's only going to make you recover better. So you do need to go through muscle building phases, and it's also going to make you burn more calories because you're going to have just more mass on your body. So, your total daily expenditure will just go up because as you take actions, if you're heavier through having more muscle, you're going to burn more calories, right? Another thing is taking your mind off the scales at that point. Like realistically, throughout phase 1 and 2, we are teaching our clients to take their minds off the scales, but very, very important through that phase 3 that we're teaching you to take your mind off the scales. Again, focusing on really performance and recovery should be focused on throughout every single phase. And again, like building a true enjoyment, like throughout phase 1, we focused on a real enjoyment. Then at times throughout phase 2, as you're really pushing in your dieting phase, it can become one of these things where you don't necessarily stop enjoying the gym, but it becomes more of a chore because you've got less energy, right? So then when you reverse yourself up, you do a maintenance, you do a muscle building, that's then when you can build true enjoyment for the gym because then you can start getting better pumps again. Then you can start lifting heavier weights again, right? Number 4 in terms of phases, that would then be you going back in towards a phase 2. So utilizing that break to then re-enter a deficit, make it sustainable long term, and then breaking through previous ceilings that you'd set beforehand. So again, with dieting phases, bulking phases, I would spend maximum 20 weeks in this dieting phase here. For me personally, I don't spend any longer than 12, sometimes maybe a bit longer, 14, 15 weeks absolute maximum. As you first come into a dieting phase, maybe you can spend longer, but realistically, the more experience you get in fitness, the less time you want to spend in dieting phases, and the more time you want to spend actually building muscle. So that is essentially the phases that we took Dom throughout our coaching to drop 5 stone. Guys, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's coachmatt.wilson. If you've got any questions about this, feel free to drop a comment, pop a like on the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will speak soon.